You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time for us to see the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. And I have joining me to make sense of this, Ambrose Igboke joins me on Zoom from Enugu. Ambrose, good morning.
Good morning to you. Nice to see you again.
Very good. Good to see you. All right, we will be having Oladinde Ario join us as we get along on the program. Now, let's begin with Leadership newspaper. Leadership says 2023 presidency, citing fairness, Southern Middle Belt leaders make case for Southeast. Citing fairness, Southern Middle Belt leaders make case for Southeast. All right, that's what Leadership says there. First news, I'll betray Nigerians if I fail to contest. Oshibajo is quoted as saying this. VP visits Ondo to seek Keredolu's support. APC begins sale of nomination forms. A party justifies 100 million naira cost of forms for presidency. Right? That's what first news there has. From there, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard says 2023 Buhari deceiving Jonathan others. Adebanjo is quoted as saying this. Says Jonathan allowing himself to be disgraced as Clark Adebanjo Middle Belt Forum canvass Igbo presidency. And Igbo have competent, patriotic people. Clark is saying this. And Southwest should take the back seat for now. Pogu is quoted as saying this. All right. From there, let's go to This Day. This Day says it's Igbo's turn to produce president in 2023. Afenifere Middle Belt Forum, Pandev insist. Declare Yoruba's presidential bid inelegant. All right. Say unfortunate Jonathan allowed himself to be disgraced. Right. These are all on the front page of This Day. Right. From there, let's go to the Nation newspaper. Nation says PDP ex-governors, aspirants reject consensus candidate. Obi Ngige, Umahi, Anyim rally ethnic nationalities for Southeast presidential bid. Igbo leaders deny Wike Amechi. Rivers governor donates 200 million naira in Kaduna. Right? Rivers governor donates 200 million naira in Kaduna. Right? That's the Nation newspaper. From there, let's go to The Punch. The Punch newspaper said, Electoral Act, Amechi Ngige, others risk disqualification over failure to resign. All right, Amechi Ngige, others risk disqualification over failure to resign. We will disqualify them at screening if they fail to resign. Party chieftains say that. An APC submits a register to INEC ahead of deadline, commences sale of forms today. A ruling party awaits court judgment on controversial section, fails to refund aspirants. All right, all that on the front page of the Punch newspaper. From there, let's go to The Guardian. The Guardian says North plots to retain power. Afenifere Pandef, others allege. All right, Obi Umahi Ngige, Okorocha, Anyim, others meet over zoning. And Nigeria must give Southeast a chance, says Clark. Adebanjo is saying APC dividing South to retain power in North. Only equity, justice will save Nigeria. All right, this is by Nzuko Umunna. All right, that's the Guardian newspaper. Daily Sun says 2023, Jonathan steps up consultation on APC move. His defection declaration underway. Supporters are saying this. Ex-president's plan to recontest national service, says campaign coordinator. Right? That's the Sun. That's what the Sun says there. This Nigeria is next. Weapons delay, blame military, not Kuka. Northern Elders Forum tells federal government insist on Buhari's resignation over insecurity. All right, that's on the front page of This Nigeria. Daily Trust is next. Ahead of Salah, airfares skyrocket. And Lagos Sokoto now 120,000 naira. Operators cite demand and supply forces. Only tax relief will reduce pressure, experts say. That's the Daily Trust. National economy is next, and it says unemployment, poverty expose Nigerians to Ponzi schemes. Unemployment, poverty expose Nigerians to Ponzi schemes. Right? If time permits, of course, we'll be talking about this as well. From there, let's go to the Blueprint newspaper. World Malaria Day. U.S. pledges support as Nigeria ranks highest globally. Loses 200,000 lives, spends 646 billion naira annually to tackle scourge. That's the Blueprint newspaper. Nigeria News Direct is next, and it says federal government records 2.3 trillion naira fiscal deficit. The CBN is revealing this. It says growth outlook positive but fragile as PIA implementation begins in oil gas sector. From there, let's go to Business Day, which is the last we're looking at now. Patients suffer from Nigeria's faulty hospital referrals. Patients suffer from Nigeria's faulty hospital referrals. That's Business Day. That's the last one we're looking at now. All right, let's get into the stories in here. Let's begin with the Leadership newspaper. Leadership newspaper is saying on 2023 presidency, citing fairness, Southern Middle Belt leaders make case for Southeast. That is what the Leadership newspaper has. All right, Ambrose, you've been following this development. Let's start this. Now, it is said that power is not served a la carte. When Nigerians or some groups are saying it is time for us to rotate this, Nigerians or the political parties, as the case may be, to rotate power to a certain sector, of course, there is no constitution that says that. But on what basis and justification, from your perspective, would you say, okay, fine, let's all agree, let all Nigerians agree to rotate power to a certain section of the country?
Well, it is not written as a constitution, but there's what we call a gentleman's agreement. There's what we call unwritten codes of conduct. That's what we call unwritten agreements by political arrangements. Even the 6 geopolitical zones we are talking about now is a creation of the People's Democratic Party. It is not in our constitution, but gradually it has become a norm in our political lexicon, and we are actually now operating based on the 6 geopolitical zones. So what it remains is just for it to be written in the constitution. So there are some things that have come to stay that are not in the constitution. We remember that in 1993, after the annulment of the June 12 and the processes that led to the 1998 registration of political parties again, the presidency was, by gentleman's agreement, without no constitutional backing, was zoned to the southwest to compensate the southwest. It was not just zoned to the south; it was zoned to the southwest to compensate for the annulment of June 12, which was won by a citizen of the southwestern part of the country. And we saw that the main political parties then, be it the PDP that time, the APP, the AD, the major political stakeholders then actually, had presidential candidates from the southwest. Most of them zoned their presidential candidacy to the southwest. And that is what we call equity, because they wanted to compensate the southwest for the annulment of June 12. Now, over this dispensation from the 1999, we saw that Southwest have done its 8 years, and then the North came in, was truncated by the unfortunate death of Yaradua, and then the South took its turn for 6 years. Now, what is done at the North has also come back and taken 8 years. So the power rotation of the presidency is whether the South of Nigeria and the North of Nigeria. Then when it is zoned to the South, just as APC has done, I wonder why PDP is playing the ostrich with this matter, because the PDP is being unfair. The PDP is not equitably, zoning what it's supposed to do, because they were the proponents of zoning. And at this hour, when they are supposed to be strong about it, they are reneging. And we are waiting for the game they are about to play, because it will be unfair to the Southeast for the PDP to zone the presidency to another zone, because the Southeast has supported PDP since its creation in 1998. So the APC has done well by zoning it to the south. Now, when it is zoned to the south, it is left for the south to microzone it to a geopolitical zone in the south. And that is why I'm not very comfortable with the fact that the Southwest is still jostling for this after being served 8 years. We are not saying that every Nigerian does not have the right. They have the right, but for the sake of equity, just as it was zoned to the Southwest in 1998, Southwest, it behoves on the Southwest to support the micro-zoning to the Southeast. Because Southwest, in the dispensation from 1999 to now that we are practicing, the Southwest have had 8 years. The South-South has had 6 years. In the southern part of Nigeria, it's only the Southeast that have not taken a shot at it. So when you say power is not served a la carte, it has been served a la carte in the past. And this time it should not be different, because it is not actually a la carte, it is a conglomeration of consensus that look for equity and fair play, because we are all stakeholders in this country. Therefore, every part, every component that forms the stakeholder of the country should be recognized and should be having their own time, so that there can be equity, there can be fairness, there can be sense of belonging. And that is what ought to be done. Any other argument is begging the question, because these things have been done in the past. And I keep maintaining that every part of the country has what it takes, has the personalities, individuals, and citizens that are capable and have the capacity to run Nigeria as president. So people should not argue and say, it is the best candidates. Didn't you have best candidates in other parts of the country when it was zoned to the Southwest in 1998, 99? Didn't we? We had. And when it was zoned to the North, didn't we have best candidates in the South? So these things are, the arguments are pedestrian. They are not in truth, and they are not in conformity with justice and the equity in our political landscape. So It is the turn of the Southeast. And let us be clear, there's a difference between Igbo, people who are saying Igbo presidency. It is very, very mischievous. There's nothing like Igbo presidency, because the rotation is not done according to ethnic nationality. It is done according to geopolitical zones. Therefore, there's nothing like Igbo presidency, because the Igbos are indigenous to like 13 states of Nigeria. So if an Igbo man who is from Kogi comes in and said that he wants to be Igbo presidency, it defeats the argument that it is the turn of the Southeast. So what we are talking about is the geopolitical arrangement, and which is the turn of the Southeast.
All right. We're talking about the issue of, for the sake of fairness, and you've cited several instances. Now, what kind of bridges should Southeast leaders begin to build to create that kind of an agreement, where everybody sees and agrees on a table that we should actually zone this to the Southeast?
I can hardly hear you, but if I want to deduce what you said, you are asking why we think it's the turn of the Southeast.
No. I'm asking, Ambrose, what kind of bridges should the leaders in Southeast begin to build right now?
Oh, okay. Well, they have already started. They have commenced. First of all, I'm so happy that 2 weeks ago, a fortnight ago, all the aspirants from the Southeast had a meeting, and that is a good development going forward. They have, I must praise the courage of those who have stepped out to say that they want to contest. That is very good and courageous. They have started, olive branch consultations have started. People have started going across the Niger, building bridges, going to Lagos, going to the north, going to Kano, and going to other parts of the country to see how they can build confidence and buy-in from the other parts of the country. We also say that the other parts of the country should be courageous enough to stand up for the truth, should be courageous enough to stand up for equity, should be courageous enough to stand up to say, yes, it is the turn of the Southeast in the political arrangement of the country, so that people, every part of the country will will feel a sense of belonging to a nation that we call our own, that we cherish as a people, and that they become seen as bona fide citizens. Our power is not the birthright of a particular section of the country or the birthright of anybody. It is a matter of how the people will be part of the equation, how people, citizens of every part of the country, will feel a sense of unity and belonging. And if that has to be achieved for us to move forward, it is time for the other parts of the country to actually give a very strong support for a Southeast presidency come 2023. In that way, we have all been able to make a loud statement that we are all one and we are part of this country, and that Nigeria is truly united when it comes to our voice as a country.
Now, you mentioned earlier that when power is zoned to the south, it is left for the southern leaders to micro-zone to whichever geopolitical zone it should go. And then when it gets there, maybe leaders in that geopolitical zone can decide also to zone it to whichever state and all of that. Do you think that southern leaders, are that cohesive enough to reason in that regard?
Well, the southern leaders have demonstrated that cohesion. Last year, we saw a series of meetings in the southern leaders where the 17 governors of the southern states met severally on in different state capitals to emphasize and re-echo the fact that the presidency of Nigeria come 2023 should be rotated back to the south. And they were emphatic about it. So that shows a high level of cohesion in their quest to have this. So it was an unmistakable statement, and it was emphatic enough. And this is the first time in a very long while that Southern governors has that kind of unity when they were making some such pungent points. But now, when it now comes to the political party, the APC has succeeded in also making it possible for it to be zoned to the south. The PDP is the one still playing pranks with what ought to be an outright decision that didn't need any of this drama that they are playing out. Therefore, when it was the time of the North in PDP, the whole South did not say, oh, we want to come out, throw it open, and all those kind of semantics that they're throwing up now. There was a full backing from the South that it was the turn of the North, and it went there. When it was the time of the South, when it came, the North backed it up then in 1998 and gave it to the South. Southwest gained from that. When it was that time when Yar'Adua died and it came back to the South, by position of nature, the vice president, who was Goodluck Jonathan, took over. He's from the South. And then after that, the North had it. Now, what we are now saying is that when it's coming back to the South in 2023, that out of the three microzones, the geopolitical zones that make up the southern part of Nigeria, only one, the Southwest have had it for 8 years. The South have had it for 6 years. It is only one particular zone, that is Southeast, that has not had it. Therefore, for all political calculations and for the sake of equity, fairness, and justice, that all parts of not only the South and the Southwest should ordinarily support the Southeast in this quest, and then come up as a team and sell the Southeast candidacy to the other parts of the country. That is only fair, that is only just, and that is only equitable. Any other reason behind it will be begging the question and being very, very unfair to a zone, to a geopolitical zone that has supported the quest of others. And now, when it is their time, they're now trying to deny them. That does not, breed good unity in Nigeria.
All right. Time is against us right now, but I must ask you this last question before we go. Now, I believe you've been following developments, some of the stories and news making the rounds that, because you cited the South and other, geopolitical zones in the South. Now, there is the move that reports that former President Goodluck Jonathan is being wooed to run again. And from the consultation and reports we're hearing here and there, what do you make from that kind of political arrangement, though?
I will use this platform to beg the political associates of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan to impress it on him not to take these Greek gifts. He has earned his respect as a statesman, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa and the international community. An attempt to come back to contest from a particular people that disgraced you out of office, that insulted you, that said you are incapable, that said you didn't know what you were doing with governance, that rubbished you before the international community and booted you out. The same people are now coming back to woo you and you are the Messiah. It's a Greek gift, and he should not fall for it. His political associate will be bold enough to tell him, sir, it is time to enjoy your retirement, and you should not be dragged into this kind of thing. He should assume the status of an elder statesman and stop being trying to come back to contest election. Let him earn his respect and let him retain the respect he has earned.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Thank you very much, Ambrose Igboke, for your insight into all of the issues we have discussed today. Thank you.